Hello everybody, my name is Christian Quick, and welcome back to another episode of Omathacraft. So, everything's kind of coming in. I have a base, and I own a taiga biome, and I did a square chunk, so I own about 60 by 136 chunks, so that's about 8,100 chunks, which is more than covering 130,560 blocks, so hopefully everything goes well. And I have a plan, and it would take a long time to get everything done, so may not get finished. Um, but hopefully we can see what we're doing in this episode before we can even get there. This didn't really seem important at this point in time, but I ended up collecting the stripstone, and it turns out it's going to be useful in a future episode. Alright, so the last episode I was in, a creeper simply came out of nowhere, and so this time we're going to try and play a little game of where did that creeper come from. You can see, like, even when I jumped and there was nothing really down there, nothing really could see me. So then I light up the entire area. And then up there I see a little creeper, so I want to try and hit him. And so I tried doing like a critical and I completely missed, so I just had to back up. And then there is the creeper. But wait, there's more. Literally, if you see me flick to the left, you saw the zombie wasn't there, but then I flicked left again, and the zombie, once again, he was just there. I guarantee he probably came in the hole, but like, I swear, these guys are coming out of nowhere in the splits of just frames. It just makes no sense. Ooh, look, a carrot. This was the only minecart that I had found in the entirety of here. I also didn't explore the whole thing, but that's because I don't really need to. I just need to make sure that the majority of it is lit so I can kind of be left alone for a while. And what I generally mean when I say being left alone for a while, or that I didn't need, like that I just didn't need the mine shaft for mining is because I'm literally going to make my own strip mine. The mine shaft just helps you get start at a lower base. I mean, the ravine helps a lot. That's just a straight dive, and then the mine shaft just helps me get to lower levels. So I just have to find a nice base low level, and then just mine all the way down to the diamond level, which now I changed from Y level 15, and now I mine at Y5. The nether's the same though. I still do Y15 in there, but that's a future episode. So before thinking that there was going to be a communal iron farm at some point, I totally wanted to collect as much iron as I wanted. So now I have a lot of iron blocks in future episodes, but mainly at this point, I just want to collect as much iron as possible. And then I found some diamonds, like, and literally, I just needed 3 because I was gonna put fortune on it, but there were just so much more. And someone said, "Woo!" Okay, it was crafting. Woo! And I was like, I wanted it. I just needed 3. I didn't need any more. I'm looking for iron, so I said no. This is because it's not exactly what I want. I mean, it's what I wanted, but like I wasn't ready for it yet. And I just started the strip mine, so I was like, no. And so he said, wound. I thought it was really funny. So previously, when I first got into my biome, I noticed that there was a village that was like next to mine, but since I live on the border and this is part of land that like isn't owned by anyone, I totally just kind of like took it over. I don't know if that's legal or not, considering it like nobody owns it and it just happens to be right next to my base. So I just kind of took it up. Mainly, I just have a Fletcher, and then there's a reason I have 2 lecterns, and I'm dumb for doing that. So after setting those villagers free, I did have a spare villager because, well, I know I'm not the brightest camper or tool in the shed. So I already had just one spare villager just kind of waiting in a hole, and I just gotta spruce up my plans for him. I don't know how this exactly worked. He came in, opened the door, and then just fell in the hole. Usually they're a little smarter than that, but I guarantee this guy would have fell in too if I didn't close it up. The important fact is that now I have 2 villagers, I was able to separate them, and so now I was able to get that advancement, the wood a deal, making some sticks, going to the Fletcher, and then trading sticks for an emerald. So, great. Now that I have that, all I need to do is save up a bunch of emeralds and then go to the librarian so I can buy a Fortune 3 book. So this particular technique is villager workbench swaying. So basically what you have to do is you pick up the 2 lecterns, and when you place them down, he's going to have a trade. So he's going to lock onto one of them. You're going to look at the trade. So what you have to do is You break the lectern he's looking at if it's not the trade you want, then replace the lectern, look at him, and then he'll lock onto the other lectern. So every time you break a lectern that he locks on, he instantly becomes a librarian because he looks at the other lectern. So he'll always complete a new cycle of books, and you'll keep going until you find the one you want. I know I saw mending and I totally ignored it because I'm literally here for one book, and that is Fortune 3. So even if he sold me emeralds for or 5 emeralds for a mending book, I'm here for Fortune 3. And that's because it's a long process. I made an iron axe literally just for this, and I'm not going to combine 2 Fortune 2s. That is not good enough for me. But as you can kind of see, like what I'm doing, you just break the lectern, place the lectern. You'll watch him look at the other one because he now has new trades of the other one he just looked at. And this is a very fast way to do it, but it is all random chance on what book he sells you. So hopefully that part could be sped up, but there's nothing I can do about that part. Due to the durability, actually you can tell this took too long, but it didn't take too long. Um, this only took like 3 minutes, and I feel like I was a Fortune 3 I wanted to, but I didn't have enough emeralds, but I did have a book. So now that's what the Fletcher is for, is to get me as many many emeralds as I can, but knowing that it's above the max because he can only do 8 trades a day, which means I can get 16 emeralds per group of trades. He's got to lock out because it's more than that 16, so it'll be 32 on 2 16s. So that means I'm going to have to wait for him to lock out, and then wait for him to come to him again, but I'm going to need to cut more trees, and it's just going to be a mess. And my main focus is making sure that the Fortune 3, like if he lost his, because sometimes they do that, they just totally lose focus even though they're sitting right next to it, and then they just change the stuff on you. And I didn't really have paper to make sure he stayed either. So I just kind of had the hope in making sure he was fine. Yeah, I don't have any hope. I have no trust in these villagers. It didn't even take 2 minutes, and I literally went to my sugarcane farm and I made sure he locked out. Alright, so in the middle of the night, I basically mined a bunch of my spruce trees, and then I got the emeralds I needed in the second day. So, with those emeralds, I was able to finally get my Fortune 3. What am I doing? Oh, feels good to have this book. Took long enough, and this part's a little bit morbid. Once you have the book that you need, and if you, I only needed one of them, so generally if you have a trade that you're looking for, once you have all the trades, he's basically useless to me, so there he goes. We do have a data pack that allows me to get the heads, and it was the first, it was literally the first villager that I killed, and I have the librarian head. Um, if this is too much for you, don't worry, it's the only villager I killed, because then I realized that there's a shop, and you'll probably see the shop sometime in this episode. And now that I have my Fortune 3 diamond pickaxe, you can guarantee the first thing I did was mine those other diamonds, and now I had a complete total of 14, which is a really good number, you know? And actually it wasn't too much more farther down the line that I found a little bit more diamonds. I think this one was a 6 vein. I just know that the total gave me 28 for, okay, it was a 4 vein. A little bit further down the line, probably a lot further actually, more diamonds. And right now that leaves me up with a total of 43. Nice. It was definitely quite an interesting mining trip, and this is all the, the valuables I mainly have. Um, Hopefully, I'm not really too sure what to do with copper. Like, I know what to do with it, but like, I don't really have a use for the things that it can do. Maybe I'll make a spyglass, but beyond that, no, I'm not really that interested in the copper. It doesn't really have that much of a valid use to me to use it. My next task, however, is talking about 1.17 new items, is I want to get a bundle. Bundles are kind of like the 1/27th of a shulker box, so very small, but it's very valid to me, so I'm going to try and get those. But then I was told that on, I think it's Saturday, today's Friday, so it's tomorrow. So, yeah, so somebody, we're probably going to be doing the dragon fight, and I probably won't post it till, I don't know, probably a while from now, a few days. maybe Tuesday. I don't know. I did in the distance. I saw a nether portal, so I'm gonna head it over. I believe this is Crafty's base, and we can take a little closer peek because I sometimes get a little nosy, and some people don't like that, but I just gotta be myself, you know. So here at Crafty's base, or at least I'm gonna say it's Crafty's, assuming it's Crafty's. If it's not Crafty's, well, I guess Crafty gets all the credit. So I noticed some potatoes, some sheep, even a little enchanting table. I used to use enchantment tables, but then yeah, no, I don't do that anymore. They just changed too many things, like little tweaks, and it just makes it harder. Now it's just not even worth it for me anymore. But it definitely does a lot of mining, a lot more mining than I have at this point in time. So, but just looking around, and I just noticed that it's just nice to see a neighbor, you know. I do live on like the left side. He's on like the entire opposite side, like 1,000 blocks out from me on the Tega. So um, we're not that close in neighbors. But to be fair, the person below me, which I believe is Vloop, I think Vloop's taking a break or something. So that part under me is pretty vacant too. So I feel pretty alone. But I have another portal set up. Not yet in this world, but I do have one, and that definitely helps the 2,000 block travel. Which my original idea was I was gonna make an underground little railroad, but then I was like, there's another, and that's 8 times faster. Why am I doing this? I don't know if I just didn't have food on me, but if you have half a heart, you should really just be aware of your surroundings. Because, like I said, he was on the opposite side where I was, about 1,000 blocks away, and I haven't been over there a lot, so I I just re-navigate myself to find my stuff, and I had to do it pretty well because 1,000 blocks in a straight direction to where I died is not the easiest thing to do. I really thought that having the hitboxes open on would really help me see the items, but it turns out that if you're going to be seeing the items, that you actually have to be like decently close to see the hitboxes. And so I remember the hill that I jumped off of, and so when I took the turn, I saw that it was all there. But the thing is, like, I was once again out of food, and I didn't see this one coming through, so I had to do like a little circle to find my stuff. It was very annoying, but I had found my stuff. It didn't despawn. I made it within the 5 minutes. Yes. Since food issues seem to be a reoccurring issue, I decided to upgrade my wheat farm to a new part of the land of mine. So now I have the one over by my sugarcane, and then I have the one very close to where my chests are. But I just trying to make this a little bit bigger, and hopefully I can stop starving. Because that's not fun, running out of food. This is my first time back in the communal area, so I was looking around, and there's a bee sanctuary. Going through, I see a little tree farm, and I have so remember I went mining and I got like 43 diamonds. And upon me exploring, there's some nice little houses. Um, I didn't know that communal is supposed to be a starting house base as well as a shop. So I thought it was just more like a shopping area, and that people put their shops there, not their actual starting base, and they go to their main base. Which is why I'm at my main base, and I don't have a shop, so it's like I did two things wrong. But I noticed over here there's literally Fortune 3 to 3 diamonds per book, and as well as mending. So I knew that I could bring my diamonds back, and but like it was just so annoying. I was like, wow, I spent all that time, and there's already a shop for specifically exactly what I was looking for, and I already mined. Because remember, what's the first thing I mined? The first thing I mined was 3 diamonds. So I was like, wow. So if I literally just did that first main, I could have gotten the Fortune 3 and then just continued from there. I'll end up returning to the shop, and I'll keep going to other shops as I keep buying stuff, but like, that was probably the most annoying thing, was to go to the shop and then like, oh, somebody already like sells it because they already have so much of it. They have a villager for it. Remember, like what I said, I gotta keep things close to myself. So if the villager's useless to me, I just kill it. But that was just a shame because, oof, I don't know. So I'm just looking around, or just Big Lake, latest attraction at Communal that people are I couldn't read that last word. There's a house over there. I'm not too sure whose house this is. I looked at it like twice. I know this is before Barry came on and put in a Stardew house. But I absolutely do love, even though you can't hear it, I love the amethyst chimes. Um, I still don't really know how to fix that. I've been trying to work it out, and I still have no idea how to fix it. A lot of people encourage me to rather breed rabbits rather than killing them, which honestly would have been a much smarter idea because these guys are actually hard to find. Um, they don't spawn that commonly, but I only needed 6 for one bundle, and I could have gotten so much more. There is now Cal's shop in future. He does have a bundle shop, so and that's because he breeds them, and so I think this is definitely an eye opener of this. Just from this point, I could have just had 2 rabbits. I could have made a carrot farm. I could have started breeding them, and I could have had a lot more. I could have been done so much faster, but I decided to make it hard for myself. And I just went back into that comment that I just made, and I literally I remembered there's a video on me. I saw it on YouTube about it. It said that I give myself a hard time for absolutely no reason, and I think that's really funny because upon coming back to this comment that I made, that's exactly what I did this moment. Because even after I realized it, I just kept slaughtering and just kept making it hard for myself. So it was for absolutely no reason. Another thing that makes it even harder is that I need 6 hide for just one bundle, and so the thing about that is that every time I kill a rabbit, they've all dropped me 1 hide, but that's not how it always works. So there's some times where I'll kill a rabbit and it does not drop a hide, and so what does it drop? Just a little bit of experience. Here is the perfect example of me chasing a rabbit because these things are tiny and breeding them would be better. They're really good. By the time I found him, got him, he gave me some meat, which I do complain about hunger. Still not quite what I'm looking for. I'm probably going to slaughter a few more of these, but instead of this being the rest of my video, why don't we just say hi to Barry Jackson15. Do you have the voice thing?
You just scared the absolute out of me.
I guess
Oh
you.
my god.
I guess you do.
Bro, Bro. You understand? I'm sitting here, I'm just gonna get some nice stone bricks going so I can build my chimney and my roof, and then all I hear is, "Do you have the voice thing?"
I
Oh, I
got
hate you so.
I got 4 rabbit hide.
Don't you need 6?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have any, but that's all. I don't have. Where'd you go?
Back back to the flowers.
Wait, Christian, do you like my house?
That's nice.
Do you know what it is?
Stardew Valley?
Did I tell you this?
No.
How'd you guess?
The bricks?
The bricks is what gave it away.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Well, you have a great time, and I hope you come and visit me because I love you and I'm very happy to have you here, and save my number. Mwah. Have fun. Bye bye.
And I think that wraps up this end of this video. All I did from here, from this point to the next video where I started recording, is I just went home. I didn't get any more rabbit hide. For that, we'll see a Afraid Fire in the next video. He'll help me out with some rabbit hide because he's got looting 3. But from that point on, thank you guys so much for watching, and without further ado,